Security was a blast. I was like hella nervous about it when I first I'm sitting there like Friday. I'm sitting there going, only one of my friends knows. I'm like, I'm gonna be meeting my people. Okay, don't ask about the people thing. I'm gonna be meeting my people, and he's like, yeah, that's great, that's wonderful, you know. And I'm like, but I'm gonna have one hell of a time getting through security. I'm sitting there worried because it's an electronic baby. And so there are like other people there, and they're like, what is it? For the love of, just tell us what it is. I'm like, no. And they're like, would not believe me. So when we finally get up to security, put the babies in the bin.
Well, even before that, when we got to the lady who was checking our thing, I wasn't sure, so I opened up the sling and I'm like, do I put her on the conveyor belt? She goes, oh my gosh, I thought she was real. Oh my gosh. We held up the line while she just went there, oh my gosh. So then I got her and I'm putting her on the conveyor belt because I went first. And the people who were like 3 people behind us go, oh my gosh, what the? Oh, it's a doll. It's a doll. Everybody, it's a doll. Can you tell? Can you see? And pushing her through the thing, look at the guy going, it's a doll. It's okay. He goes, okay, I was gonna say. So pushed her through and he's looking at it in the x-ray machine going, this is not right. This is just, and I'm making a joke out of it because it's fun, so is she gonna live? I mean, this is cheaper than a doctor visit, but she okay? He goes, she's gonna need surgery. Pulls it out, the guy lifts her up and her head flies back. And I just, dude, okay, gentle, move the, excuse me 1 minute. And I pop her head back and he goes, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, careful. It's expensive. Yeah. And he moved her over, and he was actually very gentle and very just, okay, he's telling me I have to sweep her, I'm just going to check her, I'm going to unbutton her, she's okay. Very nice guy.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the guy I had, because they just had a little trouble seeing inside and everything, and they had to open her up and everything like that, but...
Just look up.
Sorry, I'm just trying to turn the
camera, He's getting a little riled up over here.
I don't know why, but it is right.
The guy,
it's not where it's at, it's actually right. All the way up, but it's close. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know why.
I think it was pretty cool because the security guy that was checking me out, he's like, I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye talking to Keely, trying to get my shoe on. I'm just like, oh, get on. So I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye, I see him unzip her jammies. I'm like, and I kind of look at him and he looks at me like I'm just, he's being really cautious and careful. And I'm like, okay, I can trust this woman. Yeah, right after, and he's holding her up, and everybody's just everybody's just like, come here, man, come here, these are dolls, look at them, they're so real. It was just, it was a blast.
Underneath it.
Found it. Yeah, so I mean, they're just brought over all of TSA to just come and look at them and touch them, and oh, she's so real. I guess she is on. Oh.
That's the Ready or Not tot.
Yeah.
Oh,
sad face. She's flashing everybody.
Stop.
She was on her tummy. She was on her tummy.
Oh,
she hadn't gone off in a long time, so it was, when I rolled over to look at the back, I didn't know she was.
Yeah, security was interesting for me because the guy didn't understand. Yeah. The guy didn't understand when I said it's a doll. I was so clear. I'm out there, I'm putting my bags in the thing to put through the conveyor belt. And I said to him, I'm like, I have Haley and the Snuggly, and I'm like, do I put this in there too? And he's like, oh no, you walk through with that. I'm like, it's not real though, it's a doll. And he's like, yeah, you just walk through it. But he kind of looked confused by it, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if he understood me, but I walked through, and then they get a woman to pat me down because they think that I have a real baby and that I wouldn't want to be searched the other way, and so then they're doing that, and then she realizes it's not real, and she's like, can you take that off? So I take it off, and she's going back to the guy that told me to walk through. She's like, we got this isn't a real baby we got here. She's like, it has to go through, and he's like, huh? And she's like, it's not a real baby, you have to put it through the x-ray. He's like, oh, okay. Like, he just looked so confused by it. It was just, oh my god. And so then they had to take me off to the side. They had to get a screwdriver and take her batteries out, and they're like doing this whole thing inside the compartment, but the whole time they're just like laughing about it and asking me questions about why I'm taking the doll with me and like what it's for, and they just were amazed at how real it looked. Like the woman that was there, she's like, this is amazing, like, what does it do? Can you turn it on? Like, what sounds does it make? Does it move? Does it move its arms and legs? I'm like, no, it just cries and like coos and stuff. And then the other guy, like, I kept looking at him like, kind of like what you were saying, like I was like, don't ruin her, don't ruin her. And he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna be gentle with her. I'm like, she's a very expensive doll, I don't want anything to happen to her. And he's like, no, don't worry, don't worry. And then like, it was the same thing, like he'd pick her up and her head would be like, and he'd be like, oh, I keep forgetting about that. It was just so funny. And then they're like, asked me, well, what time does your flight leave? Because it was taking so long, and I was just worried I wasn't even going to get here. I'm like, oh my god. So then finally he like lifts up her shirt and he's like, oh, it was the speaker that was giving us problems. He's like, you can go through now. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, moving on now. But that was just, it was funny though. And I got lots of questions from people online. They were like, oh my gosh, I thought that was a real baby, and like, what is it for? And it was interesting. And then trying to get something to eat while I was waiting for my plane, people were kind of looking like, okay, that baby's not moving. So.
Bananas.
Yes, I don't want to sit on a banana.
Sante-san, squish the banana.
Great, now I'm going to I sit on bananas and he has the baby oil. I think I'll stick with the I'll switch him, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.